So here you have Sarah Louise Mulligan. I think she ran before at some stage, but she's running again for President of Ireland. People have different opinions on her. That's your own. That's up to you ourselves what you want to do with that. But have a listen to this question she asks here.
So the other question about healthcare.
Keep going.
Okay, I'll keep going. Okay, the other question about healthcare surviving without immigrants. First and foremost, I don't have an issue with immigration. What I have an issue with is illegal immigration, okay? And if we look at the healthcare system, there has been a Nigerian man who raped elderly people, okay?
We have to be, I'm sorry. I cannot have a situation, excuse me. I cannot have a situation.
This has been in the news.
Excuse me, I'm the chair of this meeting, not you. Okay? I'm not having issues like that raised. I don't know, none of us know
it's been
the legality.
In the news.
Sorry. I'm the chair, I'm determining what happens in this chamber or not. Answer the next question, please. You have 50 seconds left.
Okay, so we spoke about... So
there you go. You tried to talk about real issues, or at least from her standpoint, the question she asked was legitimate. You know, it wasn't like it was just, she's just pulling shit out of thin air there with that story, because that was true. You know, we did have an unvetted Nigerian chap. I'm just going to pause here. We did have an unvetted Nigerian chap who was doing that. But no, this gatekeeper, this Ray McAdam here, is like, no, shut up. We're not talking about that. It doesn't suit our narrative, right? We're just going to talk about things that we can actually keep the people of Ireland divided between themselves. We're not going to talk about stuff that all these unvetted males that we're bringing in and they're raping old people. We're not going to talk about them, because we don't have the ins and outs of it. And then she says, well, it's been in the news. It's not, you know what I mean? It's not like I'm just pulling it out of thin air. It's been in the news. No, that doesn't matter. This guy is saying, even though we control the news and we put them stories out, we're still not talking about it here. Because, you see, they haven't got it in a controlled, it's not a controlled situation. She can say, anything can come out of that woman's mouth there and be said in front of all these people. But no, they have to dive on it and say, no, shut up, stop talking about that. You know? I thought it was quite fitting as well that above this man's crown is the motto, Civium Orbis Felicitas. Now, I butchered the Latin, but it basically translates, and I've told you this before, the obedience of the citizens produces a happy city. So they just want you to be an obedient citizen no matter what, because at the end of the day, it makes for a happy city, as long as you are obedient, you know. So the guy who has that above his head is telling Sarah Louise, shut up talking about the unvetted rapists that were important, because nobody here wants to listen to that. We just want to keep importing more of them and cause more chaos, you know. Even if you are quoting our people, because let's face it, government, Garda, media, they're the same fucking beast system, right? So therefore, they're the ones that are putting out these stories of all these unvetted males coming in, like that Nigerian who was raping the old women in the care homes. I put a video up about it before. Go back, look through my videos. Not sure the title, but it's there, covered it. We had that, but this guy's like, no, I'm going to tell you now, shut up talking, no more talking, ask something else, because we are not talking about that in here. Even though our side put out all those stories and we know what happened, we're still not talking about it, because it shines the light on the kind of males that are important, and they can't have that, you know. They have to shut that conversation down as fast as possible. People have different views, of course, about Sarah Louise Mulligan. You can think what you want. I thought the question she asked, or where she was going with that, might have given us an insight as to why they're doing it, but of course, no. They just shut it down. They don't want to talk about nothing. They just want to keep on importing these lads, causing more chaos so they can have order out of chaos.